you have to have been listening for a while in the last couple of weeks here to find the next sentence I'm about to say as funny as it actually is. But if you have all of the information from the last couple of weeks, this will be funny. Allison just came in here and said, Jamie Farr is listening on the internet and thinks this show is heavy. Jamie Farr is going to join us in 15 minutes. Allison, what's going on with Super Dave Osborne, Bob Einstein, brother of Albert Brooks? Is he refusing to come on? He beat Colin Cowherd last week. He went 4-1. This is a whole long story, okay? This is a Curb Your Enthusiasm episode.
Both our prognosticators won last week.
Yeah, both of our prognosticators won. And one of them died. Christ almighty. Yep. And so Alan Thicke dies. And oh, my God. Jamie, listen. This show's usually not this heavy. So this is the backstory for those of you who are new to what we're doing around here.
What's going on?
I mean, we do a ridiculous segment where we have random celebrities to show you how little people know about actual predicting of football games. In the last couple of years, we've won, beating Colin Cowherd, who consults with Vegas and everybody else, with just random celebrities. The more random, the better. And one of them, who's been very good to us, is Bob Einstein, Super Dave Osborne. But he's always complaining about everything. And one of the things he was complaining about is, stop calling me. I don't want to do it anymore. You did that crappy segment after me with Alan Thicke. Congratulations. You got Alan Thicke. Way to go. It was a terrible segment. I hope he wins for a month. And when he loses, you bring in Jamie Farr. Which is just a great joke because that's just... It's Jamie Farr was in MASH, the Gong Show. That's celebrity from a long time ago. Super Dave knows that he's a crappy celebrity, too. I think Jamie Farr knows he's a crappy celebrity, right? I hope he does. If not, I'm sorry, Jamie, listening on the internet.
I mean, come on, man. His son's a fan of the show. Jamie's listening right now. I think his son knows he's a crappy celebrity. Look, man, I'm a crappy celebrity. It's Jamie Farr's not A-list. He's got to know that. He was at one time. He was at one time. Yeah, he was. I mean, back in the late 60s and 70s, he was big time. I'm serious. He was really big. He was on MASH. He was on Section 8. He was on everything.
I disagree. I think Jamie Farr can walk into any hot restaurant in South Beach and get a table immediately, never having to wait.
Easy. Oh, yeah, easy. Yeah.
If he walks into Prime 112, the Clippers are waiting for Jamie Farr to finish.
Yep.
All right. Well, what's happening with Bob Einstein?
I haven't talked to him in a couple days.
All right. Can we call him?
I know he is shooting Curb. I know he is this week. I mean, I can call him.
And he's also mad because Alan Thicke died, and he's sad because Alan Thicke died, and he probably doesn't. This is a Curb Your Enthusiasm episode we're doing right now.
But I'm certain he feels terrible. I mean, of course, right?
Right, but that's also, look, man, you got to be able to laugh at some of this stuff. Like, we're hurt, too, that Alan Thicke died.
Alan would have found this all very funny.
Hysterical. How uncomfortable this is making us, that's for sure.
Or wants Stu Gots to call Bob Einstein.
Oh. I'll call him. I'm happy to call him.
Can you guys tape record that phone call? Because I want to hear what that sounds like.
All right. I'll call him during the break.
All right. Now, many of you are writing in because you didn't like the last segment. This guy writes in, delving into the details of sexual assault allegations is horrific radio, and you choose to do it a lot. Just stop, please. No, man, I suggest you just stop listening, all right? Because this Minnesota case has really become interesting right now. I always love when the stories stop being about the participants.
Right.
The participants are just pieces here because this would be, you'd all want to talk about this if this was Alabama.
Of course.
You've got a team threatening to boycott a bowl game. You've got a zero-tolerance policy in the NFL right now about domestic abuse. You've got the Baylor situation that is just an unholy mess that swallowed Art Briles. You've got an orgy that's not an orgy. In fact, what about this question? Is it an orgy if it's all men and a woman? Is a threesome an orgy? The definition of an orgy. What is an orgy? Because I think of an orgy, I think of men and women, plural. I don't think of a bunch of men and one woman.
I'm on it.
Does this count as an orgy? I know the phrase I want to use to describe this. It's just not a phrase I can use on the radio.
First definition is a wild party, especially one involving excessive drinking and unrestrained sexual activity.
Read that again. I'm not trying to make you uncomfortable. I was reading something else while you were talking.
A wild party, especially one involving excessive drinking and unrestrained sexual activity.
Okay, well then this is an orgy then. That's what we end up talking about. This is an orgy.
Thank you for letting me read that in my own voice. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. I was just going to ask you to do it as Mel Kiper. Do it as Mel Kiper. Do it as Mel Kiper.
No, there are rules.
What do
you can't do this to Kiper.
There are rules.
There are rules.
What do you mean?
Mel Kiper's not concerned with it.
Just read it as Mel Kiper.
I'm not allowed to say no?
No.
Hang on, let me get the right tone.
Objection.
Definitely.
Heard, but
Right.
not sustained.
Okay.
You've been heard. Everyone knows you don't want to do this, and this is my fault.
Well, what would happen if he didn't do it? If he simply
We'd just sit here and we'd be spinning our wheels in the mud right now. As Mel Kiper, you're just reading as Mel Kiper. What is an orgy? Definition, strict definition.
An orgy is definitely a wild party, especially one involving excessive drinking and unrestrained sexual activity. Why'd you do this to me?
What about John Gruden?
No!
What about John Gruden? What is an orgy?
Don't do this.
It's just, Mike.
You're already in, man. You did it with Kuiper, so you might as well.
And half-heartedly, and your effort was weak.
It wasn't weak.
It was weak.
Really?
Do it better.
Do it. Oh. An orgy is definitely a wild party, especially one involving excessive drinking, unrestrained sexual activity. Was it better? Was that better?
That's Straight Talk. It is brought to you by Straight Talk Wireless, nationwide coverage on America's largest and most dependable networks.
Do it as Gruden.
Oh, wow. Really? No.
Do it as Sean Connery.
Oh, no. An orgy. It's a wild party, especially one involving excessive drinking and unrestrained sexual activity.
You didn't seem to mind doing it.
No,
Connery,
yeah.
You
was
seem
something
like
about
doing
Connery.
it as Connery. What is that?
It's something with Kuiper and Gruden.
Oh,
there.
it's the ESPN link? Is that what it is? ESPN link?
You don't say.
Is that what's happening there? I didn't realize it either. Don't blame Stugatz about that. I didn't realize that it's just because of ESPN personality. Do it as Gruden.
Oh, wow. Let me tell you about it. Oh, my God.
Don Lebatard.
Texter writes in, "Oh, wow, Dan, you don't argue and you don't yell. You're so perfect, except you have the face of a 600-pound man."
Stugats.
I couldn't talk.
This is the Don Lebatard Show with the Stugats on ESPN Radio.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Guest on the Dan Lebatard Show appear via the Shell Pennzoil Performance Line. Here's your SportsCenter update. Minnesota football players are boycotting all football activities in the wake of the suspension this week of 10 teammates. If they do not play in the Holiday Bowl, Northern Illinois would be the replacement team. The Patriots have been awarded wide receiver Michael Floyd after he was waived by the Arizona Cardinals 2 days after his DUI arrest. And finally, Scott Baio filed a police report against the wife of the drummer of the Red Hot Chili Peppers, saying she attacked him at an elementary school function while screaming, "Grab them by the bleep." Get your home in shape for the season with huge savings right now at Lowe's, where you'll find great deals on all your winter needs. So hurry into your neighborhood store today to make your home happy all season long. For all the latest headlines and information, tune in to SportsCenter on ESPN Radio all throughout the day.
We like to be transparent as a radio show, and I don't know exactly what's going on in the other room, but I just see profound discomfort in the shipping container filled with frightened refugees. They keep looking over at Allison, and what I see is a combination of fear and mortification, and I don't know exactly what happened. I'm expecting Jamie Farr here. Guillermo, what just happened? Because you guys are in a different room. Is Jamie Farr mad at us? Is that what just happened, Allison?
He didn't hear the last segment, his son did, and told him not to do the show, that we were disrespectful in calling him a crappy celebrity, and Jamie was very nice. He just said, I'm not going to do your show. I didn't hear what was said. My son told me not to do it, and then I just spoke to his son and just found it disrespectful.
Okay, I'm sorry, Allison, that I put you in that spot. I am not sorry, Jamie Farr's son. Like, I'm sorry that your dad's a crappy celebrity. The same way my dad's a crappy celebrity, and the same way I'm a crappy celebrity. Like, I'm sorry that you take offense at that. No, I'm not. The hell is that? I'm sorry to put you in that position that I called as a perpetual truth teller, as someone who's both woke and lit and a teller of truth. I'm sorry that it hurts Jamie Farr to hear that he is not, man.
Well, it doesn't hurt Jamie Farr. It hurts Jamie Farr's son, apparently.
My father's a crappy celebrity, Jamie Farr's son, and so's yours.
His father was in MASH.
35 years ago.
Still was in MASH.
Put it on the poll at Lebatard Show. Is Jamie Farr a crappy celebrity? At Lebatard Show.
I didn't save it by saying he can get into any restaurant in South Beach without a reservation.
At Lebatard Show, is Jamie Farr a crappy celebrity? And is Jamie Farr's son too sensitive, bruh? Put butthurt on there. Is Jamie Farr's son butthurt?
We sent them a lot of show shirts, man. Sent them so many show shirts.
But wait a minute. Who's
son,
okay?
right? The
All
son?
right, who's wrong? All right, put it this way. At Lebatard Show, who's wrong, Dan or Jamie Farr's son?
Oh, you're going to lose. I mean, you're going to lose. In a landslide, you're going to lose.
And I understand him protecting his father, and I understand.
But, Dan, not everyone has your sensibilities. So if someone called your dad a crappy celebrity, we'd laugh at that. You'd laugh at that. He's not laughing at that. He thinks his dad's a celebrity.
Jamie Farr was coming on the show because Jamie Farr's son gets our show, understands our show, likes our show. Jamie Farr's son happened to be listening the day we were talking about Bob Einstein.
All this is true.
The entire starting point of this is Bob Einstein making the joke that Jamie Farr is a crappy celebrity because he was saying flatly, who's going to follow Alan Thicke? Jamie Farr?
He's relayed a message to us, Jamie Farr's son, to Allison. Said, Allison, tell Dan to go bleep himself.
Oh, wow.
And not the way that we say it, which is like funny and lighthearted. I think he really meant that.
All right, now we got a beef with Jamie Farr's son. Here's the thing, though.
Me?
That right there, I just saw what it would look like if my life ended up in actual crisis. I would look out of the side of my eye, and there's Stugat sprinting away.